about the next one. The next one is the role of a customer success manager. You're probably like, what is a customer success manager, Mr. Wade? Well, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what a customer success manager is. Okay, I led this team. I developed this team at one of the companies that I worked for. Started it from scratch. But the customer success manager or client success specialist is a job title that has been around for about 67 years. 6 to 7 years. It's relatively new. And how companies have this role configured is this. They have, if you think about an organizational structure, you have a salesperson who's responsible for closing deals. You have a account management person who's responsible for making sure everything is good and so forth. Maintenance. You have your customer success organization as well too, whose the role really is a kind of a combination of an account manager / somebody who's wanting to help your customer have overall success. How do they have overall success? Continue to use the product, buy new products, educate them, onboard them, train them. That's the role of a customer success manager or a customer success specialist. Let me get back here. So the job title has been around for 6 to 7 years, and the scope of the role can vary widely depending on the company that you want to work for. For most organizations, however, the job sits within the sales department. Typically, this is a post-sales role that can most easily be thought of a customer support role with revenue goals associated with it. Some organizations have it as a customer success or a customer support role. Matter of fact, the company that I work for, that's where we started it. It sat in the operations side, where we had a support organization, we had a customer success engineering organization, and then a customer success management organization. Why are there 3 levels? Well, because the first line, our customer support organization, typically handles the things that are relatively easy. The customer success engineering, well, when you get to complicated solutions that are customized, you need to have people who can support that solution and those solutions. So that's where the customer success engineering falls under. They're the escalation point for the support organization. The third escalation point is the manager, where they typically manage multiple accounts, keeping track of the different tickets that come in and making sure they're closed out on time. Others can fall in the sales organization. Some can fall in the support organization. But while a traditional customer support role consists of troubleshooting issues and traditional customer support role consists of troubleshooting customer issues, the customer success role goes one step further and acts as a product expert within the company that is tasked with making sure that the customer is using the product to fill or to its full advantage, often upselling customers on additional features of the product to drive incremental revenue increases for the business. As the job title indicates, this role exists to make sure that the customers are successful and stay with the company in the long term to drive up overall lifetime monetary value. You want your company and your customers to be around for a very long time. And whose responsibility is that? Well, the responsibility of it is that of a customer success manager. The responsibility is that of a customer success manager. How to get hired? How do you get hired as a customer success manager? Well, many companies hire entry-level talent for this role. However, one important thing that you will need to be able to communicate to a hiring manager is your ability to learn the ins and outs of new products quickly. You have to be a person that can learn on the job fast. You don't need to be a technical wizard, but you should be a natural at learning new technologies, platforms, and software. Before any interview, start by reading the company website to understand all the product features and try to test out the product if a demo version is available. Salary range for a customer success manager. You can make a good amount of money as a customer success manager. especially for some of the larger tech companies. Well over $150,000 a year. But entry level, $50,000 to $70,000 a year. Let's move on. Customer support specialist. Customer support specialist. This is what brother Kev Tech IT Support talks about. This is the entry level role if you want to get into tech that you can go down as well. Most people start their tech career going into some sort of customer support organization. That's where I started. But I started mine in college. But I led this group as well too. The role, much like a customer success manager, a customer support person is typically the person in the company who becomes the product expert, understand every feature of the product, how it works, and what common problems people may experience when using the product. The main difference between that of a customer support specialist and a customer success person has to consider how the customer uses the product to benefit their business and encourage them to utilize specific aspects of the product to get the job done. The customer support role is there to help the customer resolve real-time issues they may be facing with the product. So if you think about it, let's just say you're using the product and all of a sudden you hit the report to print, or you hit a button to generate a report and it comes up on the screen and it gives you that 404 error. You're like, I don't know what's going on. Well, first person to call, customer support, person who's going to pick up the ticket is a customer support specialist. They're going to look at the logs. They're going to look in the background and look at the configuration. Oh, guess what? The customer set this flag for a different region. That's why you got the 404 error. That's what customer support specialists do. They troubleshoot. They know the ins and outs of the product. They know where to go to for configurations. They are the first line of defense when there's a technical issue. How to get hired. Even at the entry level, most companies will want to see some track record of dealing with difficult situations. Be ready to talk to an employer about how you would de-escalate a tense conversation with a customer. And I'm going to tell you like this. Those conversations can get very, very tense, especially if it's a customer who the implementation didn't go well with and they're not happy. You as the customer support specialist is going to get you're going to get the wrath, you're going to get the fire, they're going to burn you up. They're going to burn you up. Customers can be nasty when it comes down to this sort of stuff. You have to learn how to de-escalate situations. You know how a lot of the times when many of you guys have probably had some internet issue or something like that, you had to call Time Warner or AT&T. The person that you're probably talking to is a customer support specialist. You know, you're yelling at them, man, I don't have no internet, man. I'm sick of this stuff going on. They got to try to de-escalate you guys. They got to try to de-escalate the situation. I'm sorry, Mr. Wade. What can I get you? Can I get you a Starbucks gift card? Have you had your medicine today? You're a grouch. No, but that's not what they can say, but they have to de-escalate the situation. Salary range, $45,000 to $55,000. Salary range, $45,000 to $55,000. What's the next one? An operational specialist. We've already talked about 3 roles that are non-coding, non-super technical that exist out there where you can make a decent salary and get into tech. Let's go back. SDR, sales, right? Customer success manager, customer support specialist, operations specialist. This job title is probably the most catch-all title used by the companies to describe anything from a logistical role for a very specific department in a company doing a few defined tasks day to day, all the way to broad project-based role that tackles many organizational challenges for a company, rolling up directly to the chief operations officer of an organization. While analyzing job descriptions, we found words such as logistics, tracking, coordination. The gentleman that I spoke to last night was an account coordinator. Non-technical role, but already in it. But some of the things that he did, which I told him, you should be looking at a role as a project manager, because he's managing projects. The role that he does is project management. And another popular title that exists in many technology companies for operations heavy roles is project manager. While the scope of the work for a project manager also varies from company to company, an ability to take a complex project and break it down into all the tasks necessary to complete the project successfully and a common responsibility for anyone in this role. How to get hired? While many people consider themselves organized, even if you have no formal operations work experience, you will need to communicate to the hiring manager what specific tools and processes you would use to stay on top of dozens of different tasks. So you have to be an organized person. You have to be a person that is very detail oriented. You have to be a person that can jump from many different tasks and not get upset. A multitasker, but staying cool. Salary range, $40,000 to $65,000. MIS, CIS. I don't want to go into tech. I don't want to be a developer. Development is hard. I don't want to be a coder. I don't want to sit down in front of the PC all day. These are roles that you can go into, guys. These are roles that you can get. The last one we're going to talk about is this: digital marketing manager. The role. The marketing roles have been many different job titles associated with them, including but not limited to paid media specialist, ad specialist, social media manager, acquisitions manager, and many more. No matter the job title, the one thing in common is that the digital marketing manager will typically use a mix of online tools to make customers aware that a product or solution exists and make them interested enough in the product to provide their contact information to the company. So you know when you go to people's websites, right? You go to people's websites and you end up on it from some reason. Maybe it was a flashy ad. Maybe it was a Facebook ad. Maybe it was, you going to Instagram. If you're the person that's putting in your information, trying to get more information about this, the role of the digital marketing manager, they did their job. They did their job. They're responsible for making sure that you put your information in and they can contact you. And the cycle goes from digital marketing manager. Once you enter your information in, it goes to the SDR and the BDR to contact you. So the day-to-day job of a digital marketing manager includes using different tools you would need to learn and what channels you would use. Oh, let me repeat that. The day-to-day of the job, including what tools you would need to learn and what channels you will use to attract customers, social media, search marketing, content marketing. And this all depends on the type of product your company is selling and where the potential customers of this product typically will spend their time. How do you get hired? For an entry-level marketing role, you should try to position yourself as an expert in one of the types of marketing and look for companies who market their products using primary channel that you're comfortable with. Could be social media, could be email. But ask yourself, are you naturally good at getting followers on social media? Are you good at writing and creating content that gets people to act? Have you played around with Facebook and Google advertising tools for personal side projects or business ideas? If you spend some time understanding what channels and marketing strategies can be effective for a company based on that type of product they're selling and demonstrate a deep understanding of who their customer is, you'll be able to impress most hiring managers. Salary range, $50,000 to $70,000. There it is, guys. There it is. There it is. MIS majors looking to get into their first role. Seasoned professionals wanting to get into tech may have to take a step back. These are roles that you can look into.